All right, so back to this Celsius. This is gonna be, I'm not sure if any of these exist, but this is quite possibly gonna be one of the only YIIK character tier lists on, the internet. I mean, it exists. It has literally what, three reactions? The funniest thing being my only motive and the reason I was gonna do this, is again, I did an Omori character tier list, and there was some I'd say, I had some interesting I had a few, not too many, a couple or few hot takes, right? But I made the comment like, oh, most of these characters still rank like, high for me compared to like if I did it on YIIK. And I had the brilliant idea to look up YIIK character tier list, and this is what we got. So Jesus Christ, I spilled it all over myself. But again, that's what we're doing in this one because I think this is going to be very interesting and pretty hilarious, kind of to talk about or think about, the thought process here behind where I rank characters for YIIK. So again, though, right? Mm. View community rank. How does that work? I don't want to do that because I'm just going to do my own thing, right? But I don't know. Maybe it's just like kind of a culmination of maybe you like submit them or like share them there. I don't know, but we'll see also. So yeah, let's add another. We're definitely gonna need an F tier for this one, right? Let's put this. Okay, no, this one's fine being green. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need a F tier on YIIK, right, for this tier list. This is gonna be pretty rough, I imagine. Just like my playthrough of the game. But again, with that, right, we can just begin and get into it. There aren't that many, obviously not as many as Amori, but I'm only gonna do the ones that I know of. So, because I can already tell looking at these, some of these I don't know of. Again, it's just something to where it's like, who knows there, right? But it's like, yeah, And I mentioned with Omori, I was ranking them on whether or not I liked them, not just whether I liked or disliked them, but also their kind of relevance and role, in the plot and then story, right? Their overall purpose there. With YIIK, it's going to be rough because so many of these characters get shafted and just, are just like wasted potential when it comes to stories. So we'll take that into consideration, and we'll just go through. Like looking at this list, I don't know a lot of these, so this might be rough, but we're just ultimately gonna only rank the ones we know because I'm not going back to that game. Let's put it that way. So that we can just get into it. Don't know this person. Don't know this person. I feel like we've seen this guy before, but I just don't know them. All right. Alex's dad. See, reason being we only see him once. He doesn't seem to be like too bad of a father. The question is, okay, why is he leave? But he has a moment where obviously, he looks like Alec, but the big thing is him passing off his flannel, right? And then like because we get some backstory at some point between him and his father there. He what because we know why he leaves. He leaves to go basically to kind of restart anew. I mean, it involves in our woman, of course, but it's something to where it's like I remember we got that interaction, but it's also something to where it's like it's more nuanced than that, and it's not like a personal thing. So I think it's a very interesting kind of take. I mean, he gets a conversation with him at the end, so it's something where like I find that interesting, but it is like what would you call it? With that, right? It's like we also don't get enough time with him, right? Mother, different story, but with his father, right? We just don't see enough. Rory, Rory, I'm putting B tier. Reason being, because our introduction to him was weird. I mean, you get introduced to him. He talks about his dead sister. He shows you have the encounter with the golden alpaca. You have kind of a falling out. You make up with him, and then from there on out, he's kind of a normal character. But kind of the whole sequence and introduction thing, and also the fact that he was able to travel soul space for a bit, seemed like it adds a bit more to his character. I mean, it's something to where it's like, also plus big thing. His character's really good in battle, right? You know, I really enjoyed using his character in like the fights, and it saved me countless times. So simply his character having a bit of personality, and then that puts him in B tier for me again compared to Alex's dad, who we don't really see. We know what happened with him, and we get like an interaction with him, but it's like it's if he just left for a fucking woman, okay, F tier, right? But it seems to be a bit more nuanced. And again, the whole he had that conversation and handed off his flannel, so that means something. Michael C tier, he just doesn't really do much. I mean, at the end, he becomes Proto Michael, but that's literally out of nowhere, and it adds absolutely nothing to the story. So yeah, I don't really got anything as far as character there. This guy, we literally, he appears once, maybe more times, but we don't see him enough to like rank him. We at least know who he is, but to us, he's literally some random dude. Clearly has beef with Alex in alternate worlds and realities, but again, not enough. Vela, I'm throwing in B tier. I'd throw her up higher again, because here's the thing. It's something to where it's like obviously she's the love interest of Alex, right? It seems like every fucking woman is, but it's something to where it's like the big thing with that is again, it's never really realized, but it's not even necessarily about that. More so, my thing with Vela is it's weird how she kind of knows everything, but like isn't transparent at all regarding it, right? Like she could have kind of taken up like a mentor role, someone who actually guides, the group, but it ends up just being Alex and his fucking, just hunches on whatever random thing, right? Like I think like Vela to me, my mind, she reminds me a lot of Nora from Insurgents, which is very ironic considering Nora, in my mind, is probably one of the. Don't tell me there's an Insurgents character tier list, dude. Don't please. This will be the most hilarious fucking thing, dude. Don't. No way. Looks like I know what we're doing next after this one. Holy shit! I know what we're doing. Okay. Oh shit! I crashed the browser. All right. I know what we're doing next after this one. But I'm gonna say it's ironic because Nora is probably one of my least favorite characters in Insurgents, with Vela being one of my favorite characters in, YIIK. And the fact that I view them in a similar light is not a good sign, right? But again, her character reminds me a lot of Nora because it's like clearly she knows a lot and should have been utilized more as more of like a guide, and then just but that doesn't happen. So we're getting off there. Chandra, I'm throwing in D. Her character seeming adds pretty much nothing. It's funny because this is what I said verbatim. Like her character solely exists to bring up, topics of like race and like gender, specifically race, to Alex. She basically adds nothing else to the story. Like she doesn't add anything that Claudio doesn't add, which is again, it's not her fault as a character because her character again, it's something to where it could have been utilized for something else, but it wasn't, and it's just it leads to okay, her character just doesn't really do anything. So I'm not gonna put her in F tier because again, it's something to where it's like she is a main member of the party. Again, she does have relation to Claudio, and she does open up a bit to Alex by the end. It is just something to where it seems like that was the sole reason for her character being added to the game. Yeah, so just throwing out there, but with that, it's kind of like whatever. But damn, I can't believe there's an Insurgents tier list, but we'll see moving forward. This tree don't know. Alex's mom, I'm putting in B tier again. I'll move her up to A tier because she's a good mother. I'm gonna say that, and it seems like she wants what's best for her son, right, Alex? But also again, some just still flawed character, kind of misguided regarding. Okay, you'd think if this motherfucker's taken 5.25 years for a philosophy degree, that maybe it wasn't for him. But again, and then they had the conversation regarding finances and him getting a job, and it's like this probably should have been a conversation you had before you went off to college. So, but again, it's something new to mother wants what's best for their son, right? And it's something to where she kind of has to deal with having a kind of a son that's, not doesn't necessarily, I guess I don't want to say not live up to their expectations, but doesn't necessarily, what's the term? Isn't like fully realizing himself, I guess is a way to put it, right? So there's that. Is this supposed to be Sammy? I think this is literally supposed to be Sammy. I don't see Sammy anywhere else in this ranking, so I think this is literally supposed to be Sammy. So Sammy, C tier. Reason being, here's the thing. My overall thoughts on this game, it should have been focused on, the whole semi-Pac disappearance stayed home, tailored towards that. You can actually develop a coherent story and progress and develop characters, but it's something to where, again, that just didn't happen. Semi only appears at the very beginning and the very end. Also, again, another thing with Alex's mother. No, Alex literally could have gotten a job for free, and he just chose not to. But that's besides the point. Like I feel like Alex's mother, is really good. Like again, probably like well, not at the level of fucking the MC's mother in Blue Skies, but Alex's mother, definitely probably one of like the few like good characters, I guess you can put it in the game, right? But again, back to Semi, like she appears at the very beginning, gets taken at the very end, but doesn't, and we learn that she's the one who is giving Alex the phone calls, but okay, she was like she gave him the phone calls, but she never did anything. Like she just called saying, "Oh, did you figure it out yet?" and then does nothing. So again, I think her character again, similar to like, freaking some of these art characters could have been way more fleshed out and could have gotten way more development potential there, right? Similar to like Vella's character specifically, I think just Michael and Chandra are kind of bland characters to begin with, but her character and then Vella's could have been way more fleshed out, but they just weren't. So again, she's going C tier because at least Vella's part of our party and she's kind of a main part of the story, at least in the middle part. But yeah, Semi is just like only at the very beginning and end. So I have no idea who the fuck this dude is. Freaking me character. Don't know who this dude is. Essentia S tier. You probably saw this coming if you saw I play through again. One, she's just so fucking cute. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like somehow the cutest like character in the whole game. Like literally just when she wins and does the peace sign pose, it's like that's what fucking got me. But beyond that, it's something to where obviously her character, because we get introduced pretty late to her character, like is like the android, but the first introduction in us using her to fight fucking the soul survivors blew my mind. That actually blew my mind. And then going through her mind dungeon as, Alex, right? That was a pretty the puzzle bit got kind of annoying, but it still was fairly interesting. And then also kind of her obviously we know it's all a bit. Her character being, this like creation that embodies, all of its subsequent, parts, but it is in that it actually ends up is just a part of Alex, but it is something where it makes for an interesting story. And again, like Proto Michael was just like, whatever, like, why are we doing this late into the game? But Essentia kind of is like a first, and that being a major plot point, at least then again, I felt like, again, while she was a part of the gang, she was kind of the center of the attention, right? Star of the show there. So I'm willing to give her this, right? Golden Alpaca, I'm throwing in D tier. The dude, like, okay, we fight him like, and the reason why I'm not even putting him in C tier is because we fight him for the first climax, and it makes it seem like, um, again, it makes it seem like, what would you call it? Again, it makes it seem like, yeah, it makes it seem like, he's going to be more of a thing. And because he seemingly just ends us all, right? Or nearly ends us all, or annihilates us all. And we kind of get an idea that he's like, not, I don't want to say God of the soul space, but kind of has, what would you call it? That designation or whatever you would call it. Again, is at a higher level than soul survivors there, and maybe even potentially a reflection of Alex. But then he literally just does nothing the rest of the fucking game. We always see him just down and he's repeating lines that Alex has said, but literally does fucking nothing, not even in the end. So it's like, again, like I would put him in C tier. Like he would be higher if he had, let's say we beat him the first climax, and then Alex gets some information there, he'd probably be higher. But solely for the fact that he sticks around for no other reason and purpose, like even at least with Semi, she shows up in the end, but the Golden Alpaca just fucking does nothing. So should I know who this is? I have no idea who the fuck this character is. Like, hold on. Who is this fucking character? I don't know who this is at all. Should I know who this is? Like, okay. Like, should I know who any of these characters are? Specifically, this one seems like, because is this Essentia? It's literally like the exact same pose. So it's like, you know, I feel like I should know who this is, but I just don't. Like, I don't know. I don't know who this is. Don't know who this is. Claudio. Okay, in my mind, Claudio is going in B tier. Because he's actually kind of an interesting character with a personality. Again, honestly, I feel like Chandra, she should have really just kind of had a different, like, she should have either not existed or a character should have been like kind of different and separate, because it's something to where basically like her and Claudio are kind of one the same, but Claudio is the one who's interesting. Again, Chandra seems to exist solely for just like meta topic commentary. So, but at least Claudio's character is interesting and he is pretty useful. Again, with the whole car thing, we never really use his character in battle, but again, his character actually, but it's also something where we meet him fairly late and it's like, okay, yeah, we meet him fairly late and it's like just again, kind of whatever there. It's just something to where it's like there's not a lot to go off of. He's interesting, but he doesn't really provide much for the plot and story. So other than his car, right? So he could have done more, but that obviously didn't happen. So I don't know who that is. Is this fucking Proto Alex? I think this is Proto Alex. Proto Alex, D tier. Dude literally just shows up at the fucking end. Okay, I guess the big reveal is that, but that would be more so for Essentia's character rather than Proto Alex. Like, dude, it's hilarious. Proto Alex's character is literally like the end, this big reveal. Proto Alex is like, oh, you didn't know this? Essentia's been using you this whole time. Yeah, I don't want to fight. Just go away. It's like, this is really the climax of the game. Like, fucking move him lower, move him in F tier. Like, they could have, like, it would have been so much more. Let's say Essentia wasn't even combined with Alex. Let's say it was Essentia herself that was destroying everything. That would have been way more interesting, but instead we get fucking Proto Alex showing up at the end and being like, oh, what? You didn't know this. You fucking suck. We fight, lose, and then we zap them. And then who knows what happens after that. But I don't know why the fuck they include his character. Like, because at least with, Chandra, she was with our party. But this is literally like the last fucking bit of the game. We see him once and then just, yeah, whatever. Fucking, keep him in F tier. I don't care. Don't know who this is. Don't know who this is. Alex. Oh my God. Putting him in C tier. I feel like I just have way too many opinions. I have like way too many conflicting thoughts and opinions on Alex to give him a definitive tier. Like, I have way too many conflicting thoughts and opinions to give him a definitive tier. For one, again, I think his character, arguably more than anyone, could have had the most potential for growth and development, but got completely fucking shafted by a direction the story went in. Like, again, the whole, this going off his mother, right? The whole disconnected from kind of real life, the practicalities of real life and reality there. So, and that, something being to where it's like, okay, but normally the direction that's in is you have a rich, powerful, famous, successful person. But in this, you kind of have like a loser who needs to learn, like, okay, how do I adjust? Like, I feel like Alex's character could have been relatable to a lot of people, but instead, they went the direction they did with him. Like, he never even worked on it. He just dove into this fucking, like, that's why I'm like, he dove into this fucking, metaphysical like bullshit. But it's also something to where it's like, I do side with Alex during the first climax. And I do kind of, again, a lot of what happened, I place blame on Vela because she seemingly knows everything but doesn't fucking share anything. So it's just Alex and his antics being the driving force. So again, it's just like whatever. So I just have way too many conflicting thoughts. Next person, the Arab scientist. Is she actually Arab? Imagine I'm just way wrong. Um, the one who supposedly created Essentia. I'm throwing her in D tier, as you could already see. Here's the thing. If Essentia actually ended up being her creation, along with, her Russian counterpart, and then all her other parallel, like alternate world reality souls, that would have made for like I would probably throw her up in A tier. And like let's say they went down a storyline with Essentia being like kind of the main antagonist. That would have been so much more interesting than what we got, and her character would have had so much more of an impact and play your or like sort of part in the story there versus this fucking proto Alex bullshit. Like again, and then Essentia was Alex all along. But like again, it was just yet again another waste. Like I was originally like her character, like when she rolled around, even though it was late as hell, like that's such an interesting, origin story for Essentia and gives so much power to her own character, like arguably making herself one of the most competent characters in the entire game, one of the most intelligent, even more than Vela. Again, it's just insane. Like Vel, as opposed to leaving her reality, joining another one via soul space, she creates a freaking, a android that can travel and then observe its own parallel souls, right, and realities and worlds, and then gain all of that information and collect all the souls of its like counterparts, right, or its parts to become whole. But obviously, kind of got shafted there. But, yeah, similar to these two, just wasted potential. Freaking Proto Essentia, just throw her down there again. Same deal as Proto Alex, just fucking whatever. I guess it's technically the same Essentia, even though it's a different part. But again, it's like, yeah, just seemingly a waste there. Dude, what the fuck is this meme? What does this say? Hold on, what does the top part of that say? I don't know. But yeah, just whatever, bad finale. Panda, I'm also throwing Panda in C tier. Reason being that again, it's a weird thing with Semi too. Like Panda plays a role at the beginning, like you actually talk with him a lot. He just appears nowhere in the fucking middle and then comes back out at the end. And like the grand reveals that he was never real the whole time. Shocker, right? He's just a stuffed panda, but it's like again, like he could have at least like maybe if he played a role in the mind dungeon or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's just like I mean, it's useful and helpful at the beginning. He also, granted, fucking it, funny enough, we never really used the panda ability in the game, so it's like you don't even have that. But it's like again, similar to Alex, I feel like these two should get their own tier, right? Do a row below, um, and then just go, I don't know, and then make this like purple or something. So yeah, make this purple. I'm throwing Alex and the panda down there. I just have way too many like conflicting like thoughts and opinions. Honestly, I could do a category for wasted potential, but it's like just whatever. The Crow F tier literally doesn't fucking do anything, just speaks in riddles. Literally adds like nothing to the fucking story. Like I don't care about the mind dungeon. You're like as a pseudo like narrator again, because Panda's more supposed to be like his Alex's companion, but as like a pseudo narrator and kind of keeper of the dungeon, he literally doesn't do anything. Like I don't know how else to put it. He just doesn't contribute. So just these two again, shit finale, just doesn't contribute for someone who because at least with these three, right? They aren't like these are all okay, Golden Alpaca, right? But like they aren't occupying like an essential role to the game. Essential, right? Essential, like versus like the supposed narrator just fucking not doing anything. And I literally don't know who the rest of these characters are. Like this is basically my tier list. Like I guess I could throw these and fucking, what concerns me is I should probably know who some of these are. But again, these two I would throw in here. So, again, like I should probably know, I should probably know who more of these characters are. I just don't. Like this one is like it's literally Essentia, is it? This is like a higher form of Essentia, right? Hold on, let me Essentia, YIIK. Okay, I guess not. I don't know. Dude, fucking dude, some of the YIIK fucking games are so fucking dude. Some of the dude, the one good thing about YIIK is the fucking memes that come out of it. Like it's honest. Is this not Essentia? Who is this? Like I feel like because like okay, the rest of these are like we know who this dude is, but like this one I feel like we should know. I don't know. Whatever. Same one is this. This isn't Semi. Who is this? Yeah, this is literally somebody else. I don't know. Whatever. I just find it funny, but this is basically my list. Again, very much a worse spread than Amori because Amori you saw I had freaking what would you call it? I had 4S, 4, I think like 4S, 4A, 4B, 4C, and 2D. No F. With YIIK, I have 1S, 1A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 3F, and then two just like I genuinely don't know where to put these. Actually, yeah, put Alex and fucking down. No. I genuinely don't know where to put these. Like it's just, dude, what I want to know what that meme is. I have no fucking clue. I don't know, but yeah, this I want this is kind of interesting. And again, these are my thoughts. Yeah, funny how like out of like the main characters, they cap off at like B tier is the highest, and then just go down from there, right? Again, game. I've said this. I've done black stream videos. I think this is a game of wasted potential. Could have been a lot more. Is what is, but we'll see. Funny enough, oh my god, I can't believe, dude, I can't believe there's a fucking insert. This is what we're doing next. This is what we're doing next. We're doing, bro. Why is there a fucking shit react? This is literally just all of the fucking characters, but you know, yeah, we're doing Insurgents tier list next, but yeah, freaking this is the YIIK one again. Obviously, this is shorter than the Amori because Amori I had a lot to talk about, and that one was a little more serious because okay, Amori characters are actually good versus YIIK where it's like okay, yeah, just whatever. But that I don't really have anything else to say. So yep, that's it for this one. See you in the next one.